Hey there, Jenica. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. My name is Seleni McGregor, and I work with business owners across the state of Utah. I spoke with Nathan earlier today, and he gave me the green light to send this over to your email. So I created this quick custom video for you just about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against competition. I'm sure at this point you're most likely sitting there asking yourself, why would she be doing this and what's the catch? Well, that is a fair question. What I have found is that most local business owners are just too busy actually running their business, maybe swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, dealing with employees, and just staying on top of jobs that many times learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried underneath all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time the only reason you may not have hired somebody is because you don't know who to trust or know who is truly an expert. So that is exactly why I make videos like this. I have found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of actual things that they can do to impact their business for free, it has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni, can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, then shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if by the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan that I give to you and do it yourself, that totally works for me too. Now let's cover the 3 things that are going to set Kamea polls above your competition. First would be content, second citations, and third backlinks. So first up is content. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do. It has to be told through your content. So content is basically going to be anything here that you can see that is highlighted. So you can see I've got text, pictures, what pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures. All of those things can be considered content. Now to give you an example of that, let's go ahead and just do a right click, save image as, and we can see that we've got that image saved as. So it looks like the type of pool you've got there. And then save as for this one. Same thing here, you've got Aspen and then some letters and numbers. Now, alternatively, this would be a great way to be able to leverage high volume keywords by including those here in your detailed image descriptions. Again, all of these things are things that the Google bots can read and basically get an idea of what is this business, what services are they offering, what area are you targeting, and that's going to position you in the search ranking. So the goal is having unique and authoritative content, and you want to have enough of it to be able to add in the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for in Google in order for somebody to find the services that you offer. Most business owners know they need content, but what they don't know is that in order to rank #1 on Google for pool building, the average content count is 2,000 to 2,400 words on your homepage alone, while making sure that it has the right keywords and phrases that customers are actually searching for. So when I copied your content here and plugged it into a tool, I can see that your website is sitting around 418 words here on your homepage. Now, again, this would be a great way to be able to increase your content count here and include those right keywords so that you guys get found. Now, we're actually going to jump over here into a tool that I have. It's called Ahrefs. This is a really cool tool if you guys were interested to go out and get this for yourself, but it essentially gives me behind the scene details that Google is looking at when it comes to ranking a site, so I get a pretty good idea of what is working well for you and your competition. So I've actually got your competitor cutting edge polls pulled open here. These guys are actually currently ranking in my search #1 for pool builders there in the St. George area. So we're actually going to just take a quick look at them. Right here in the overview, I can see how many keywords their website is being found for, and I can see roughly what kind of traffic they are driving every single month to their website. Now we're actually going to go ahead and dive in specifically to these keywords. We can see the exact keywords that they are ranking for and what some of your clients are actually searching for every month as well. So we're going to do a Command F and type in St. George just to help highlight it, make it a little bit easier to see here, because we do want to focus on location specific since that's where your buyers are going to be. I can see right off the bat they're showing #1 for pool builders St. George, Utah. Currently this tool is showing them in the 2nd position, but it sometimes does have a little bit of a lag. Google can change their rankings quite often, and sometimes the tool doesn't keep up exactly. But you can see with this key term alone, that is being searched 70 times every single month here. Now they are showing for some pool supplies that's being searched 20 times per month, a little bit lower ranking there. But then you can also see a few of the other keywords that they are being found for, but not necessarily in the top ranking. Now I wanted to kind of show you here in my tool some of the other possible key terms of what they and you are missing out on with some of the volume here. So we've got St. George Pool Builders being searched 70 times per month. This is the Pool Builder St. George, Utah, 70 times per month that we had pulled open here that we had just showed you here on the competitor. And then we've got Pool Builders in St. George, Utah, 40 times every single month it's being searched. And again, St. George, Utah Pool Builders being searched 40 times per month. That's just a little bit of an idea of what type of volume you're getting just in the St. George area for new pool builds there. Now, if we jump over here into the same tool with your website that we've got pulled open here, I can see the exact same overview. I can see how many keywords your website is being found for and roughly what type of traffic it's driving in every single month. So we're going to dive in again specific to your keywords. Let's do Command F and get St. George pulled open here. Again, I can see you guys are also ranking for Pool Builders, St. George, Utah, the one that's being searched 70 times every month. This one shows you guys in the 6th position as for this tool. Then we've got St. George Pool. Again, that's probably more related to the city pool versus pool build. Same thing here. And then you've got a couple of other terms at Tropical Pool St. George being searched 20 times per month. You guys are on the 4th page of Google for that. This one doesn't really have search volume, and then you're also being found for pool supplies 20 times per month, but you guys are almost on like the 6th page of Google here for that. So jumping back over here to seeing these keywords and kind of the volume there in St. George, how Google's not optimizing from my tool being, having you being found for all of these keywords in a high ranking position. What would happen to your business if you guys were able to get all of that traffic, or even just a percentage of this traffic of people looking for pool builders? Now, we're going to actually go ahead and pivot, and we're going to jump over here into Google. Again, I do have one of those high volume keywords, St. George Pool Builders, plugged in here. The first thing we see here, of course, at the top is the ads section. Here's the thing about ads. Ads can work, but they can also be a huge money pit if your foundation, like your website, isn't dialed in, or if maybe customers are using an ad blocker. So just be really careful to not burn through your money here on Google Ads unless you know for sure that your site will convert. Now we're actually going to jump down here below the ad section into the coveted map section. This area has a lot to do with this second important thing that we're going to talk about, which is citations. And you're probably asking yourself, what is a citation? Why do they matter? Well, great questions. So this is called the Google Map Pack. I'm sure you've seen it. You've probably used this section, and maybe you've even thought to yourself, how in the world can I get my business up on here? Well, that's a great question, and that's about what I'm going to show you here. So to get yourself to the top 3, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. So what is a citation? Well, it's super simple. It's just your business name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories like these. Having citations helps Google to be able to verify you and then give relevance to your local business. So in order to push yourself up here in the top 3 spots on the map pack, you just need to increase your citation game. When you get more citations than your competitor, especially from authoritative and industry-specific websites, your credibility boosts, you gain more trust from Google, therefore pushing you here above your competition. Sorry there, had to pause that real fast. Kiddo woke up with a bad dream, so had to pause it and come back to it. So, okay, picking back up here on citations. Okay, so I think I just explained that helps get you above your competition and getting your credibility boost here. And again, you might be asking yourself, okay, great, how do I actually do that? Well, there are paid tools like WhiteSpark and BrightLocal that'll tell us the exact directories that your competition is listed on. And then we can go out and match what they're on. But of course, we don't want to just match them. We want to be able to dominate them. What we've seen is with most pool builders that are ranking at number 1, we usually see them around 100 to 200 citations. So if you're pushed down below them here, maybe 2nd or 3rd page, you might only have 10 to 30 citations. So we not only need to go get those citations that'll match your top competitors, but then we need to beat them out online. Now, let's talk about the last thing that I wanted to go over with you today, which is backlinks, or often called link juice. And this 3rd pillar is really going to help you dominate here on Google. So when we search for the keyword, again, St. George Pool Builders here, and we scroll down below the maps, we get to this area. So this is called the organics listing section. Sorry, I don't know why it's not highlighted. There we go. The organic listing section here. Now, you can see that you guys are not ranked as number 1, 2, 3. I do currently show you in my search tonight number 4. Again, the tool did show you as number 6 position. Just kind of depends on the timing here. I do show you in the number 4. Now, ideally, we want to be in the top 3 positions. Google statistics have shown that the top 3 businesses here on Google get about 75% of the clicks. meaning that most of your potential customers here are choosing one of these first 3 results and are never making it down to your listing. So in order to get here, you've got to beat out your competition in every aspect. So you need authority. And how do you get authority? And before I actually jump into that, I just want to explain here too. So the top 3 usually get about 75% of the clicks. And then out of this, about 40% of the searches go into the map section. And then you get about 60% of searches that come down in here to the organics. So by not being in here, you're losing out on a lot of volume of people that will actually could be choosing your company. And then by, again, not being in the top 3 spots here, again, losing out on a lot of potential volume here as well. Okay, back to how do you get authority? Well, this is where the backlinks come into play. And basically a backlink is just when one website links to another website online. And the easiest way to think about it is kind of think about it like a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this popularity contest here, the business with the most relevant authority wins. And I do say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. So you guys are pool builders, right? We wouldn't want to get a backlink from an ice cream shop linking back to you because you don't make ice cream. Although that would be tasty, that backlink would be useless to you. But if you had one from like a local blog or industry specific site linking back to you, that would be much more effective. Now again, let's jump over here back into my tools. Let's jump back to the overview. I can see right here you have 55 backlinks being pointed back to your website. It's not bad. It's a great start. It's just not dominating. Now, if we look over here again at the #1 comp for the cutting edge pools, and let's go to their overview, you can see here they've got 208 backlinks being pointed back to them. And some are from very strong, relevant sources. Again, how do we get these? Well, we can actually jump in here with the tool and we can see the exact sites that are linking back to them and go get those sites, if not better ones, and then point those back to your site. Again, this is very beatable with time. Again, getting you here to the top of Google, it is not magic. It is just a tried and true method, and I have shown you that exact method today. So again, the 3 things that you can do today to grow your online presence is first, focusing on your content, getting it to at least the 15 to 2,400 words here on your homepage alone, making sure it has the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for. Second is citations, just making sure to get your name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories to beat out your competition by a landslide. And then lastly, making sure that you increase the quality of backlinks that you guys have pointing back to your website. I do see you guys have been increasing lately, I guess just right here up on this chart, increasing how many backlinks you guys are getting, but when I'm jumping back into them, I'm really not seeing a lot that have a lot of quality here. And so really just focusing on that so that you're getting the right kind of backlinks, again, pointing back to your website. Again, all of these things, if you implement them today, then you can be #1 across Google. Now, I'm sure at this point you're wondering, okay, well, what now? Well, you really have a few options. First, if you feel like you cannot handle any more clients every month, that is absolutely fair. If you could just send me a quick note telling me you watched the video, tell me your thoughts about it, I would really appreciate your feedback. On the other hand, if you are ready to grow, you can take this blueprint and implement these 3 strategies on your very own today. I gave you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have, and it is all yours to use to help your company. Now, if you found this information valuable, and if you are still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, just go ahead and respond to my email and we'll set up a time to chat. Once again, my name is Seleni, and I look forward to your feedback. Have a great day.